important. Oh, I get one more namaste. So my friends, it's a very important lesson, but every lesson is important, provided your mind is receptive at that level of a seeker, and then you pick up. And you may note it down. You may note it down in your head, or you may note it down on the paper and then you repeat it. It demands a repetition. So, repetitions means that consistent in the regular study, first with the live teacher and followed by yourself. What happens? Majority of the delusion factors are removed just by listening. Listening, and then you are doing a contemplation. Now I'm using a phrases, and you have to instantly become aware of it. How many times you have a joy of indulgence? How many times you have a joy of indulgence? How many times you have a pleasure of attachment? How many times you have a piece of blaming and complaining others? This is the delusion. We don't realize it. Are you getting a joy of indulgence? The moment you have a joy of indulgence, you have a pleasure of attachment, you have a piece of blaming and complaining, or you can say, you have a knowledge of my neighbors doesn't have it and I have it. This is what the delusion is. So I told you, constant listening and learning will remove your delusion even by listening. And whatever is left uh, dissolves by the practice. Now let us go a little further. Joy of indulgence. Indulgence means I forget myself. What I forget? I forget that I kept insecurity in my mind, that I forget. That is why my mind goes for joy of indulgence, pleasure of attachment. Oh, I want to repeat it again. Oh, it's too much, I have been busy. Let us go on vacation. What you do in vacation? Now, I also go on vacation, but what exactly you go do in vacation? You don't vacate your mind. That is what the vacation is. You want to you come back to repeat your indulgence. No, I will go back again. It was such a good. So what happens? I'm enjoying my past memories. I'm talking about all the delusions in your life. So don't think that when you go to a restaurant you are enjoying a food, but if there is a joy of indulgence, it will be a repeat desire, and the repeat desire makes you forget what you are. And that sense of forgetfulness, to avoid the sense of insecurity, dissatisfaction, unhappiness in your life, is what we are doing every day. Are you getting it? I hope you are getting it. Seeker's role is to explore and examine what the heck I am doing in everyday life. I have to analyze. So while listening and learning, 80% of your delusion dissolves by listening and learning. "Oh, I have learned everything, I've learned it. I know everything." So that idea, that thought that I know everything is also causing a delusion. Do you know that? Huh? There is a confirmation by the ego. No, there should be a confirmation in life. Every day you are living out of that delusion. Understand that, my friends. So now you see, you have to contemplate and reflect. You can also rephrase it and send me some of the phrases by which you forget yourself. Joy of indulgence. I indulge myself and I experience the joy. There is a pleasure of attachment. I get attached. Honey, so good, so you are so good. I love you so much. Really? Pleasure of attachment. Peace of imagined security. In vacation, oh, there is no worries at all. Imagined security. You go on vacation, but do not imagine the security there. Are you getting it? No, but I have to go. Why? My friend has gone on vacation. My neighbor has gone on vacation. My dear close friend has gone on vacation. If I cannot say that I have gone on vacation to Hawaii, who will say that? So we are living in a delusion. Now, I will not ask you where you have gone on vacation. Are you understanding that? First you understand and then do whatever you want. Not because you want to enjoy the indulgence, not you don't do anything because you are seeking a pleasure out of the attachment. You don't do anything because you feel a confirmation by blaming and complaining others. That is going to make your mind impure and you'll fall into delusion. So now what happens by these things? I am fully busy. I'm excited and thrilled. I was so excited. Really? You're so excited. That's why you're suffering. do you see that? Yesterday, the guy was said, I want to talk to you only for 5 minutes. And then he called me. And I said, he was perspiring. What happened? No, I am very busy, so I'm just doing a brisk walk, and that is why, I have some problem, so I want to ask. I said, either you do the brisk walking or you sit down and talk to me. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in talking to actually busy people. You don't become aware of it. Think of it. Think of the delusion. So because of these delusions, I become fully busy because my attachment, I'm looking for a lot of situations and people and relationship. I am attached, I'm indulged, I have an imagined security. That is why I am fully busy. Otherwise, there is no reason to be busy. I have to give a lesson at this particular time, so I'm giving a lesson. Where is the problem? Why should I say I'm fully busy? Are you understanding the delusion part? That is very so. Because of the delusion, the result is I'm fully busy. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I have an experience of overexertion. I overdo certain things. Overdo certain things. You see that how intelligent I am. I'm doing a multitasking. Body is already doing a multitasking. You need not to do it. Body is breathing, body is digesting the food, body is sending the blood to the different different parts of the body. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Body is already doing multitasking. You eat your food and you are talking and the body is digesting the food. It doesn't ask you that you sit down and digest the food. We have a very false notion of doing the thing. And then what happens? Delusion, delusion guides my life. In my thought, in my speech, in my action. And you think that you will live in peace and happiness? Not possible at all. How it is possible? The very suffering I'm trying to achieve peace and happiness by indulgence, by attachment, by ego, that makes me forget my real nature. And once I forget my real nature, then I am always busy. Guide me everything in 1 hour, and I will be happy. Pay attention, my friends. Pay attention. This is what the text is. This is what the Bhaj Govindam is. Remember, you have forgotten your nature. I'm going after the attachment. I'm going after the indulgence. I'm going after the imagined security. This is what the master is saying. Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. And I can bet you, you are listening, constantly listening and contemplating and reflecting. 80% of your delusion will goes away even by listening. You understand it. The intellect takes over the mind. Intellect says no, no more indulgence. It doesn't mean that you don't go to the restaurant. You go to the restaurant, but internally your mind is clear. Why? How the mind is clear? Mind is living in discernment and dispassion. Go every day. So means your thought, speech, and action minus indulgence, minus seeking and enjoyment, mind is clear. You are out of the delusion. You have no worries. That is the meaning of Bhaj Govindam, Bhaj Govindam. So in the first verse, we saw that desire for happiness within, pleasure is outside. We have to distinguish. So if I see the happiness outside, I am a foolish. That is what the master says. I am a foolish person if I am seeking peace and happiness. So I have to just examine. I'm seeking peace and happiness outside. Okay. Is this peace an element of indulgence? Oh, this is indulgence. This is attachment. No, I'm insisting because I know more than you. Oh, let me drop everything. You're already come. Where is anxiety? Where is the depression? I don't want to say too much. The more the psychotherapy has evolved, or psychology has evolved, modern psychology I'm talking about. There are more than 300 psychologists, until now. Kristen? So we have more than 3,000 illnesses. Only 300 psychologists. Our approach is totally different. Totally different. And once you understand it, the problem is solved. So that is why the first, I have to get rid of my foolishness. That is what I explained. The second is the seeker of contentment by desire outside. That is the second verse. I'm rephrasing. What is the second verse that we covered? If I am a seeker, I am seeking a contentment inside me. If I am a non-seeker, I am seeking a contentment by having lot of desires outside. Desires for seeking peace and happiness is present in the world, and that causes the delusion. That was the second verse we have done. So the third verse was look beyond the surface beauty. Look beyond all that glitters is not gold. I have to make myself aware. Oh, your house is beautiful. Let me appreciate it. You are beautiful. Let me appreciate it. There is no problem into it. But no indulgence, no imagined security, no imagined pleasure should be there. The moment you have a little of it, it will build up your ego, or it will build up attachment, you will forget it. So I did not do the literal translation of the third verse because I was waiting for it. So he says there is not an attraction. I get attracted, I get attached, and I get attached with the beauty outside, beauty in the body. It may be a sensual beauty. So that beauty is outside, on the surface, on the skin. What is inside? It is the same blood. It is the same 9 holes that we all possess. Why we are very tough? Why the masters are tough? Master says you think like this, but behind that, behind this beautiful body and behind this ugly body, all these 9 holes in the morning gives you the smell that you don't want to tolerate. You have to clean your eyes, you have to clean your ears, you have to clean your... That is the way you want. Mind living in attachment and delusion must break its hold. That is why you have to think in that. Otherwise, everything is okay. That was the third verse. So if the mind does not listen to you and it is running after the sensuality, then I tell you something. I believe no one is there, but those who are addicted to pornography, this idea will work. Or any kind of sensuality. So the fourth verse says, life's fleeting nature, fleeting, life is constantly changing. I get this pleasure, I get a pleasure from this item today, and tomorrow I feel the pain. So it's a fleeting nature of the world outside. So the master says equanimity of the mind. Watch it with discernment. Don't watch it. Don't indulge into it with its strong likes and dislikes. You remain steady. Keep your mind steady inside while living in the world outside. Life is as unsteady as a drop of water. I covered that. Drop of water on a lotus leaf. Why we have to supply these thoughts and this contemplation and reflection? To destroy the delusion. Whether you like it or not, you have to apply these things, these process of thought, to get rid of the delusion. First, you get rid of the delusion and experience the peace and happiness within, and then live your life. Pay attention. I've been repeating again. We are not saying what you need to do. Are you getting it? Whatever the profession, whatever you are doing, keep on doing. We are saying how to do it. What should be your mental attitude? How you should respond to the indulgence? How should you respond to the attachment? How should you respond to the imagined security? So first I have to recognize, and then you, Bhaja Govindam, hammer the delusion. How? By knowledge, by wisdom. Not by crying, not by crying. I lost, my honey divorced me, that's why I am suffering. For how many years? 10 years. You have not forgotten. Unnecessary. Hammer the delusion. The bonds go beyond the wealth in the body. That was another verse we discussed. The attachment to the family and dependence last only as long as one can financially provide. I had a wonderful friend, I don't name it, but I examine, I observe. And it makes me more aware. So he is a wonderful friend of mine. And so every time she has some problem, she used to come to me. It is in New Jersey. For every problem, she used to come to me and we used to discuss. she put her mother into the assisted living. In those days, she was not doing anything. So when we become worthless, we have to put people into the assisted living because they disturb us. Why I gave this example? I gave this example, the moment this body will die, nobody is going to care. You love me? Yes, I love you. Now, this is not a person, this is only a body. If it is kept lying in the house, even my honey will say, get rid of this body first. That is the fact and the naked truth of life. So it doesn't mean that what they are doing is wrong. That is the fact of life. I have to adjust. I have to live that life. This is the fact of life. I have to live with this fact. Why? So that I can get rid of that indulgence. I get rid of that attachment. That is why this master is supplying this thought process. That remember this, but in old age and infirmity, those ties often disappear. These ties often disappear. So what we have to think, cause and effect relationship. Instantly. What is the fundamental issue? The moment you start finding the cause and effect relationship, the delusion disappears. Indulgence disappears. The attachment goes away. We don't want to think. Because I don't want to think, so I move animally and unconsciously and habitually. And that results into addiction. Are you getting it? What I'm saying is that the moment you start thinking, oh, why attachment? Why attachment? Why I should be attached with you? Give me 5 reasons. Is there a better option with me? An answer is yes. So the moment the intellect says I have a better option, the attachment goes away. Even the fear goes away upon analysis. When you analyze them, you do the contemplation and reflection, there is no insecurity, there is no unhappiness, there is no dissatisfaction. You will also discover that, oh, I have been fully busy, there is no reason. Now I'm relaxed. I wake up in the morning, I do my meditation, and yes, I remember, agenda is there. I have to give this lesson. Then whatever the agenda I have. So I don't want to put my mind into a non-thinking mode. Write down in your head that when your mind is in non-thinking mode, you are susceptible to attachment, indulgence, ego. Just think of it. I'm not saying that, agree with me. So when you constantly think, you will recognize, oh, this is what is happening. Why I'm thinking about this object or this person so much? Oh, it is because of the indulgence. It is because of the attachment. And it goes away. Oh, does it mean that you don't love? No, now the real love. Now you really love people. Really love people. You move in love and affection to everyone. That love never decreases. It goes on increases. Whether someone criticizes you, whether someone blames you, because you are not going after attachment. It's a part of life. We have started the journey. So start thinking in your mind the cause and effect delusion. What is delusion? It's a false perception. Now I have an anxiety, so it means there is somewhere my mind is picking up the delusion. Let me find out cause and effect relationship. So it's a false perception, it is an ignorance, it is a confusion about the reality. It is seeing happiness in outer things. You pick up any one of them. I am seeing the happiness and peace outside, and you will find out, oh, I got it, and you will have a smile on your face and delusion is gone. I can bet you. You fight with your, say, near and the dear ones. You have a differences. And now you go back, you sit into your room, you contemplate and reflect with these principles, Bhaj Govindam. Oh my goodness, crazy mind, you did a mistake. You recognize it. You come out of the room and you say, honey, I'm extremely sorry. Why? You don't have an ego. You recognize your fault. You recognize your false perception. I'm extremely sorry. You punish me. You crush yourself. Why? Delusion has to go. I want to evolve. I want to live an awakened life. We hold back. Not today, no, even I repent on it inside my room, but outside I should not express it. You are building another indulgence. You're building another indulgence. I've told you, delusion causes suffering because we chase unreal happiness outside, preventing us from seeing the reality. Delusion is caused by the ego, mind's attachment. Either you see attachment by the mind or ego attachment, aversion, misidentification. Aversion is also causes the delusion. I don't want to talk about that. We discussed, I and Jerry discussed that how to get out of that delusion. And now you know that how delusion affects our life. You are a millionaire and you have hardly few dollars to survive. Minus the delusion, you are the happiest person in your life. Because the delusion constantly distorts my perception, my view of the world outside. It distorts my perception from moment to moment. My mind is going back again. So it distorts your perception. No, no. Can you provide seeing people or objects as a source of happiness is the delusion? Lasting contentment comes from within. Do whatever you want to do. Lasting contentment has to come from within. So this entire discussion that we had just now, you all understood, is known as a comfort zone. Don't take the comfort zone easily. Every aspect that I discussed briefly, I discussed only 5%. So that 5% is the comfort zone I want to live in. So I want to live in that comfort zone means that I'm living in a delusion. You have to get ready to hammer it. Get ready to hammer it. Hammer this delusion. That delusion is covering the real self inside, veiling inside. So close your eyes. Let us start our practice now. Shravan, Manan, Nididhyasan, listening and learning the principles, contemplation and reflection with me. And now you are doing a practice with me. Eyes are closed. Position of the body. How fast we are settled. Check yourself. How fast? But how fast does not mean that you fall into anxiety and then you want to settle. You will remain unsettled. How fast means that you are aware. You don't lose your awareness. That shows we are a seeker of higher order. Are you still struggling with the body, the breath, the mind, and the position? That struggle, inner struggle in your mind means not settled in the knowledge of the false versus the real. Recognize the delusion at a first place. Where is that delusion? That being comfortable is different from becoming comfortable. Every time you do the practice, you have to discern. Becoming comfortable and becoming carefree do not exist at all. Because if you try to become comfortable and become carefree, you will waste your time in meditation. What do you mean? It is being comfortable. I have to discover where the comfort is inside me. That is why I say, now you link this with understanding. What I say, you look at the neck joint, look, don't do anything. If you do anything, then you become comfortable. My friends, be clear. Oh, yes. That is also causing the delusion. Oh, I have not to become comfortable. I have to be aware. Oh, so shoulder joints. So I find some stiffness in the shoulder. Who is holding it? Mind is holding it. Which mind? Deluded mind. Mind, while you are holding, I am aware of the shoulder joints now, so it leaves it. So then there is a being comfortable, the whole body. You are comfortable, and I give a very small understanding. So when you are comfortable, always check with sensation, comfort, and steadiness. And now being carefree. Don't become carefree. It will never help you. We have an American way of being carefree. The moment I used to say in a group sessions, live sessions, and someone was start stretching the leg, other was stretching the neck, and third was stretching the shoulder, and the 5 minutes passed. We're so much habitual. Now, I don't want to say a lot of things, otherwise people will be offended. So being carefree means thoughts are going and coming like the traffic on both the lanes, and I'm standing across means observer and observed. And then I don't lose the time. What happens? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. It is the thought, emotions, and the feeling causes the delusion. Let me have the thought, feeling, and emotions to get me rid of the delusion. So that thought is a mantra. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. Now you have to contemplate yourself this today and just discover which thought is complementing and reflecting on this mantra. I passed on to at least 50 different ways of this mantra. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. I'm not contemplating and reflecting with you. You have to contemplate and reflect. What it means, I will tell you the meaning. May there be peace for all. I'm asking you to think consciously. In meditation, answer is yes. Don't carry the past burden and past impression. Oh, I have to get rid of all the thoughts. You do it. Pick up any the thought. Can I say how many ways you can pick up? Only one or none? Do you see the lack of contemplation, lack of repeat practice? Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. Can you contemplate and reflect? Any one of the 50 ways, when you start doing it, if your mind recalls couple of more ways, that is how I give the lessons to you. It's simple. And even if your mind starts retrieving that knowledge in your head, you are already there. You are a great seeker. So you are checking yourself. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for it. May everyone should be blessed. And you are contemplating. I'm not doing it. So now you will recognize by yourself. If you are repeating the practice every day, it will return to you. You are not repeating the practice, it will not return to you. Now leave it. What we are doing, looking inside the forehead in the space, drop the Om Shanti. You're not doing it faster, Om Shanti. So you recognize the space in between the Om and the Shanti, and again Om and the Shanti. You're also aware of the sensation and the stillness in the body. And the third point, start breathing, quick and short breath from the nostrils into your chest. Just as if you are enjoying doing the breathing. And there is no end to it. If you have that state of the mind, obviously you are hammering the delusion. You're hammering those moments of being in a comfort zone. Continue, my friends. Quick, short, gentle breath. You are aware of what you are aware? You're already aware of the chest breathing, and your awareness of the breathing is so intense that the mind cannot resist doing the breathing. If it is resisting, so just recognize that resistance, but continue, endure that resistance, and continue breathing, my friends, and see the result. Your mind says, I will continue the journey until I awaken to myself. Means there is no resistance. But during the practice, you may discover a lot of sensations in the body, visions and the colors, You just recognize and accept them. Your journey is important, not the vision and the colors. Continue breathing. Om Shanti. Continue the steadiness in the body. So if anything, body moves, just not because of your fault. You don't deliberately move it. But if it moves, it's okay. But continue breathing. And stop it. Do nothing. Remain as you are. Pay attention to the breath, the flow of the breath. Every step is important, but obviously being aware of the flow of the breath. If the breath flow is less in one nostril, pay attention there. Just pay attention there. And now Om Shanti, start again. Om Shanti deep inside the forehead. Check body remains steady and your mind confirms, no, I will not move the body. You get a hunch. And now start breathing into the belly. Inhale, belly out, exhale, belly in. It's a longer breath, and longer breath makes both the flow of the nostrils equal very fast. So continue. You will discover the heightened state of awareness and attention. That is what we are, how we that is what we are, where we are heading to. By all the three together, maintaining the steadiness in the body, Shanti, and belly breathing. Belly breathing means every time you inhale, you expand your belly like a balloon and squeeze your belly while exhaling. I'm doing it to just help your mind to remember that what we are doing. But you all are doing, that's really fine. Keep on, continue. When you are doing it correctly, you will discover both the nostrils more or less have a equal flow. Why I'm stressing in this part of the journey? Because then we can take our meditation much deeper. Now stop this. You already know. Allow the breath to be normal. Pay attention to the flow of the breath, maintaining the steadiness in the body. Now you would see, being aware of the flow of the breath just takes your mind almost free from all the thinking thought process. That is a wonderful state, a deeper state. Now, paying attention again deep inside the forehead, Om Shanti. Body is steady and start breathing both from the belly and the rib cage. You already know how you are breathing, the third type of the breathing, both belly into the chest. What you need to do during the inhalation to the belly and the rib cage, what you need to do during the exhalation. And body is steady. Om Shanti continues. So instead of a confusion in the mind, we are fusing the mind. Steady body is steady. Deep and long hissing breath and Om Shanti. And stop this. Allow the breath to be normal. Body is still the steadiness. And it acquires almost, you feel the freezing. Or it becomes numb. Or you have other experiences which indicates that the mind is living within. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Check the flow of the breath is equal. Even if it is not equal, don't don't get upset. And in that state, start breathing deep, silent, slow, very, not exactly very deep, as much as you can afford, or where the mind remains calm. But what we do in that, we do the nyasa. What we do in the nyasa is you inhale, moving the mind from the top center of the head to the spine, to the tailbone, singing mentally. Shanti. Your Shanti ends at the tailbone during inhalation. And as you exhale, the mind moves from the tailbone, going up, reaching to the center top of the head. So during exhalation, the Shanti and at the top of the head. And Om begins at the top center of the head while inhaling. So you are sinking. The deep sigh, slow breath, Om Shanti. And if I say the thought image of the spine, don't start, thinking that I cannot see the spine. You cannot see the spine without the sense organs. So it's always a thought image. You are aware. You are aware where the spine is located. So that gives the direction to the mind. Because if you force it, what will happen? Hallucinations. My friend, that is where we have to be cautious. And stop this also. Allow the breath to be normal. Sensation, stillness in the body. Mind is living within from inside. You're dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. What did I say from inside? Shanti. Or the other way of saying it is the mind's eye, it's the mind's skin, it's the mind's ear, it's the mind's touch. Doing the Om Shanti. What happens? You may experience a tremendous bubbling sensation on the 16 segments of the finger, wherever your mind goes. What it means? You have taken over the prana, the energy. What it means? Now you can redirect the mind wherever it is required. It's a conscious journey. You know what you are doing. And I know what I am offering giving you. And now moving the mind, leave this, moving the mind into cave of your heart, triangle, equilateral. Shanti. On each side of a triangle, you are moving clockwise and anti-clockwise. You wait as while you are moving, you wait if there is a sync. Then inside the triangle, push the mind, singing Om, goes deep inside the cave of your heart. Shanti. And you discover, oh, there's a self-absorption. Even the thought is 100 miles away from you. Done. Remain in that state of self-absorption. Well, if any thought returns and you see the thought is being repeated by the mind, so it may be because of the past impression and some issues which happened last week. No issue. Again, go back to the triangle, sync and absorb. Don't get upset. Do you see your self-absorption, silence, state of doing nothing, mindfulness? A lot of words are given. We will understand that step by step. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both your palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences, and if you have any question, you can share it. How are you, Samir?
It was very peaceful and I was totally into it.
Good.
No thoughts were there, no images,
Yeah,
and totally there was darkness inside.
very
I,
good.
I was just reconciling how I was feeling. I was feeling like to sit some more time in that.
Hmm.
But
Very good. That's a sign of success. Beautiful. How are you, David?
Thank you, sir. Very good meditation. The lecture was, as always, brilliant. And one thing, for whatever reason, I started the meditation by taking my breath and not focusing on my Om Shanti being in sync with each other, but just separately flowing however they wanted to each flow. And I did that through the entire meditation. And by the very end, when we were in the heart, I just felt this such massive light in my head that I felt my eyes were like kind of like blinded by the light, like flickering. So it was very deep and unique. Thank you.
Very good. Yes. We are going to, our next step is to that maintain the awareness flow of both the nostrils even during the nyasa. And then we have proceed. And that gives those flashes of lights. It's a beautiful, wonderful. Jerry, how are you? Sorry. Thank you, David. How are you, Jerry?
Thank you, sir. I'm good. It's peaceful. My takeaway word was assumption. You know, when we assume that we know what somebody else is thinking, going to do, say, it gets us in trouble. Always.
Yeah. I assume what you are going to think. Or I assume that what you are thinking about the other. Unnecessary. False assumption. That causes a lot of problem. I assume Jerry is thinking what Jerry is thinking about Barbara. That is a crazy stuff. And we do it 99%. No, it is on the part of the Jerry has to solve one problem we both have. So how are you, Stephen? But it doesn't mean that, if you see something, you tell something. But don't attach to it. Don't get attached to it. Joy of indulgence is bad. Yes, Stephen, sir.
Thank you, sir. Very good lesson. I took the lesson went in a different direction for me, and I know that you talk about it from an indulgence perspective, but I latched on to the attachment part of it, and as you were talking about it, I started going through this intense amount of contemplation and reflection during your lesson, and we talk about the principles of listening and learning. And as crazy as this might sound, in all the years that we've been doing this, I always looked at the listening and learning coming from yourself and other people around. And today I took this listening and learning that it's okay to listen and learn from myself.
Yeah.
And that was part of that contemplation reflection. And where I'm going with this is that I've had a rough 3 days with seasonal allergies here in Phoenix. And it was real bad 2 days ago. It was better yesterday, and then I woke up really bad today. And the lesson started going is that am I caught in this attachment and this delusion that I'm, just because I'm having these allergies, am I supposed to feel this way and whatnot? And as soon as I started doing that during our lesson, everything just opened up. It's like it's gone. And so I've been able to really relate to this being attached to the way I think I'm supposed to feel rather than the way it is. And immediately the flow was even and still is, which is pretty remarkable. And meditation was just great. So,
beautiful. I'm supposed to feel allergic during this season. Now, this false assumption I have. So not only it demands a contemplation and reflection, but also a couple of the practices of the breathing and little precautions. And then you will see that seasonal allergy dissolves completely. You're right. It happens. It will definitely happen. Beautiful. Very wonderful sharing your experiences. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. Was deep, calm, and very comfortable meditation. And at the end today, there was again the experience like the mind was falling asleep, but at the same time, I was fully aware of it.
Yeah.
It's like one part of the mind was wanting to sleep and was even I could see it like doing like falling
Yeah,
asleep,
yeah, yeah.
and the other one was watching it and was fully active at the same time.
Yeah, when we are falling into sleep, the mind is not at all interested into the external world. So sometimes we understand meditation in that way. That part of the mind is sleeping to the world and still aware, fully aware. That is what he wants to convey. So yes, that also happens. So every time we have to explore the new layers and stages of the consciousness until we reach to an beautiful Janice here. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. Today's practice, I was very absorbed and felt like I could have sat all day.
Good.
Also, I had a lot of tension and pain that just melted away. So I, like Stephen, I could understand the attachment to the thoughts about that and to experience that go away.
Yes, enrich this experience again and again. Every time you have these problems, and Stephen have those allergies or anyone, I have to remind myself. I discussed about it. A sense of forgetfulness comes. Oh, I have a pain. I will do meditation later. No, here and now. I have to get rid of this. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. At the beginning of the meditation, I was very tired. I almost fell asleep. But then as the meditation went on, I became extremely alert. And then I just had a sensation of just comfort and peace and warmth.
Beautiful. Yeah, that is what should happen and what is happening to Barbara. Pay attention. Pay attention. It's a live session. I'm not saying that you have to share your experiences in my way. You have to share your experiences in your way. Be very clear. So that is what is happening. Thank you. Wonderful. Barbara, where is Terry? How are you?
I picked up on two of the idea of comfort and the fact that you can. It's not about. It's more about how you think of it than.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And then the other thing that I mainly picked up on was just the idea of heightened awareness. Heightened awareness.
Heightened awareness, yes.
Yeah. And I felt an enjoyment, which I don't usually, of doing the breathing. So it wasn't very powerful breathing, but I did feel a desire to do it and an enjoyment. And that's the first time I really, because I usually just feel the resistance.
Yeah.
So I was very glad.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You having this problem and you feel the desire to continue to do it, it means definitely you are undergoing a change. Just one thought popped up in my mind about you. Can you equate your symptoms of Parkinson with a seasonal allergy and Christina's pain on her back? Don't give.
I don't. Having seasonal allergy, and I really related to what Stephen said.
Hold on. Your symptoms of Parkinson is nothing more than seasonal allergy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
They're both symptoms.
They both are the same.
Yeah.
So if I keep that in my mind and I will it, you will see the greater results. Any problem is outside. Every problem is outside. Whether it has to do with a seasonal allergy, whether it has to do with Parkinson, whether it has to do with the pain.
And a lot of people said they're not getting enough sleep. And I'm also have a big problem with that.
Why don't you practice the meditation that time? How are you, Vaibhav?
Liberating idea.
Thank you, sir. So mind was comfortable, was in a peaceful state. Some element of sleep was there, but mind was recognizing this, and then it was coming into the awareness and seeing that like where it is going. And otherwise, it was very comfortable.
Very comfortable. Very good. So when we maintain that state of the comfort during the entire practice, obviously the practice is much deeper. How are you, Sangeeta? ठीक है. No, I will say it next time. So that is all. Thank you very much. The thoughts are coming.